It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe, and tonight, Matt Impelluso's Reader Nation. A former student of mine, a big deal in the theater department at Sterling High School in Baytown, way back in the day, Matt Impelluso has had a very long-running, sporadic sometimes, internet radio show that he actually started back in the day when he and I were at Sterling together. He calls it Matt's Afternoon Shot. And over the years, 2, 3, 4 times, I have joined him via the internet for that radio show, Matt's Afternoon Shot. And he, in fact, created a little feature for me, you know, when he talks to me as a segment of his show, and he's called it Reader Nation. We haven't done one of these things together in a really long time. I mean, since back when I was living in New Orleans, in fact. But, you know, the stars came together in the right way, and Matt was recently in Baytown visiting his mother, and so I descended into his lair there to do another Reader Nation. And we had about a 2.5 hour long sprawling conversation all over the place, and I managed to get video for about the first third of it. And so tonight I am going to show you some selected cuts from that video. I'm going to do it in 2 parts, about 5 minutes tonight, about 5 minutes next week. So without any further ado, let us proceed to Matt Impelluso's Reader Nation.
TW Radio, TW Video, WTWN, because W means east of the fucking Mississippi. What is going on? I am not even recording.
Oh.
There we go. All right. We got 2 things going on. Hey guys, Matt Impelluso here, Ron Reader, Reader Nation reunion. We are doing this in like the most ghetto way possible, by the way. All right, Reader Nation news of...
Because there's so many podcasters in the ghetto, you know.
Dude, I don't even like the word pod. You know I use the word radio show. You know I use it.
Sure, you know. You don't like podcaster?
Since your shows are so short,
Yeah.
you're always fucked. Because you always say something bad. Like, I mean, you always say something that will trigger an algorithm. Like, you literally have to be a Southern Baptist for 10 minutes.
I've already done 3 shows on the Southern Baptist, in fact. Most recent one on the sex abuse scandal.
Ron, do you remember the year you started masturbating? I have to do it by grade. I can't do it by year. In 5th grade, I thought to get a girl pregnant, you had to pee in her.
That's not... I mean, our sex education is shitty. We don't start...
Oh, yeah. I mean...
We don't start early enough. People are too tripped out about it.
Oh, well, Ron, you put it out, so... I'm like, fuck, I say way too much. But I treat Facebook like Twitter. And
I treat it like a blog.
And Twitter is so... Yeah, you do. Because you write a paragraph, you maybe write another thought, and then you kind of write, fuck you. Literally. All right, here's a question for you. I'm the principal of Sterling.
Okay. Gotcha.
The day before, some wackadoo shot a kid. The kid doesn't die. Whatever. My idea is to give all teachers guns to protect their students. What the fuck do you say back to me? Go fuck myself?
To you, the principal, and I'm a teacher?
Yeah.
And you're saying I have to arm myself? Is it mandatory that I have to have a gun? Or is it just that I can voluntarily have a gun?
No,
2 different situations. You know, because
okay. That's a good question, because are they making them like temporary police officers? in a way.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're already the authority in the classroom, period, right? And now you're
Not in your classroom. No.
Well, okay, I was. It's just I'm sort of anti-authoritarian, you know. So it was like I like to have a nice little light touch. No, man, but it's like you're already
It's
the authority,
323,
right?
On your WTWN.
WTNN.
Oh no! Don't say that. No. And so in Mexico City,
In Mexico.
what were we just talking about? Oh no.
Well, you got you're the principal.
Okay.
And it's just like I'm saying, mandatory or voluntary.
Okay, so now you're asking me mandatory or voluntary.
Right, and we also threw, you know, because I was gonna go on to say is that teacher, you're already the authority in the classroom.
Let's say there's a breach on campus. I turn on a switch. Mandatory.
Well, okay, then if you turn on a switch and it becomes mandatory, then it's always mandatory, because that means that we always have to bring our guns to school, because at any moment, the mandatory, you know what I'm saying, there wouldn't be anything like that. On the left, they talk about the school to prison pipeline, right? And this is really a play in a lot of low-income schools, especially African American and Hispanic schools, where it's basically you're living this sort of you're set up to go to prison. You know, the schools are crawling with police forces now. I mean, remember, you go back to Columbine, and there was just a paranoid freak reaction, and so many districts now have school, they call them school resource officers or campus police.
I don't know what more about this is. Is that Southern?
If it's called, that's just the name of the church, I'm assuming.
Right.
You know, the church I grew up in was Kingwood First Baptist
I wasn't
Church.
listening to what the motherfucker was
So
saying.
basically, you'll know whether it's Southern Baptist by the color of the skin of the majority of the congregation. I thought you were Catholic.
I am by the Archdiocese.
Going to a Protestant church, man.
Bro, they fucking hired me. Like,
yeah, well, okay, there's that.
Bro, I was in band, got kicked out because I thought I was Hitler.
But I'll be born again for pay. You know, it's like, yeah, you're gonna pay me? Sure, I'll say I'm born again. Why not? That's basically
but I
most
wasn't.
Republican politicians
But
are. Okay, so that just about does it on part one of the most recent Reader Nation. If you want to hear the entire conversation in an audio format, I direct you, and earlier episodes of Matt's Afternoon Chat, previous episodes, I direct you to anchor.fm/WTWN, and I'll go ahead and link that down in the text box below the screen on which you are viewing me. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe and Madame Impelluso's Reader Nation.
Ron, do you remember the year you started masturbating?